I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Attention all 8th graders, make sure to turn in the summer school course form and the money by February 14th or Valentine's Day.
On Thursday, February 6th, we played Franklin West and we took a tough loss.
The score is 17-20.
It was an intense game. Our coach almost had our baby on the sidelines. It was intense. Yeah.
On Thursday, the 8th grade girls basketball team took a tough loss to Franklin West.
Shout out to Oakley Wood. She did very good on blocking out and good defense, and she did very good.
Come to our You're getting booted if you don't come.
On Thursday, we wrestled Chapel Hill. We won 3 matches. We took him home.
Shout out to Andy Bustamante, Henry Bustamante, and Precious Bustamante.
I would like to give a shout out to Omar Tayyar for doing a great job and winning this match.
We should go to Fazoli's on February 20th.
For what?
Avid.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yes.
Go to Fazoli's for Avid.
Crazy, do the mumble like a crazy with
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
A slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my
The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to choose our better history, to carry forward that precious gift, that noble idea passed on from generation to generation, the God-given promise that all are equal, all are free, and all deserve a chance to pursue their full measure of happiness.
Unfortunately, discrimination and segregation practices got worse over time in the southern United States. Most public transportation has separate seating for white and black passengers.
The black community in Louisiana was frustrated with the discrimination and was ready to test the constitutionality of these segregation practices. Homer Plessy agreed to help.
Plessy was a Creole of color. He was 7/8 white and only 1/8 black. With his light complexion, he could pass for white.
In 1892, Plessy agreed to help build the case. He bought a train ticket, sat in the white section of the train, and then clearly identified himself as black.
Plessy was asked to move to the colored section of the train, and when he refused, he was kicked off the train. Plessy brought a lawsuit against the train company, which went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Civil rights leaders were hopeful that this case, Plessy versus Ferguson, would make segregation unconstitutional.
Unfortunately, however, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the train company, upholding segregation of public spaces and creating a separate but equal doctrine. It was constitutional to segregate based on race as long as equal services or facilities were provided.
This was a major setback in the quest for equal rights and was the start of a century of legal segregation in the United States.
After the ruling in Plessy versus Ferguson, many states took it upon themselves to create segregation laws. These are known as Jim Crow laws. However, a group emerged to fight for equality for African Americans. In 1909, the NAACP, or National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, was formed.
The NAACP. On February 12, 1909, what is now the nation's oldest and largest grassroots civil rights organization, was formed. The NAACP, which stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, has been a driving force in fighting race-based discrimination in the United States since its founding. In 1909, racial injustices were common. Segregation was legal in many parts of the United States. Employment discrimination was common, and voting rights were often denied. People of color across the country had to live with the fear of racial violence and lynching. And so, the NAACP was formed, built on the ideals of another group, the Niagara Movement. W.E.B. Du Bois, along with 29 other prominent African Americans, started the Niagara Movement in 1905. They met near Niagara Falls and wrote a manifesto calling for equal civil rights, the end of racial discrimination, and the full recognition of humanity for people of color. In 1909, many white liberals in New York City joined with some of the Niagara Movement's black intellectual leaders, and from that group, the NAACP was born. In addition to W.E.B. Du Bois, other NAACP founders included renowned civil rights leaders Ida B. Wells and Mary Church Terrell. The NAACP's mission has been to achieve a fully integrated society with equal rights for all. Its national leadership has always been interracial, even though the greater membership has been mostly African American. To achieve its mission, the NAACP has not only focused on using the legal system to challenge discrimination, but also on convincing all people of the need for racial equality through speeches, organizing, and legal advocacy.
Check it out!
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Could be good.
Check it out!